The webinar is going to be purely and exclusively about military airfield lighting solutions. Why are we doing that? Because we see the great demand from air forces, from land armies, in terms of supplying them with redundant, mobile, and emergency airfield lighting systems. Army requires to operate in every condition, at all times, and regardless of the circumstances. Okay, so agenda. I know that sometimes participants of webinars tend to ask questions before I'm getting actually to the slide. So please look at this agenda, and this is for you to understand what we will be covering today. First of all, I'll talk about S4GA a little bit and about solutions that we offer to military forces. I will focus my attention at certification and compliance of S4GA lighting system with military standards. After that, I will talk about the light itself as the key component of the system. So I will explain key technical characteristics of the light. Then I will talk about control system. So how do we control the lights? What are the key functions of the control system? I will cover topic of testing of S4GA products, how it is done, why it is done. At the end, I will also cover some case studies. So our completed projects where we delivered our system, what was the challenge that customer required to address. And I will sum it up with information why military customers choose S4GA products. Before certification, here at this moment, I will make a Q&A session so you can ask your question, and then I will make a Q&A session at the end, so after the point number 7. Okay. A little bit about S4GA. S4GA is a manufacturer which is based in Poland. All our products are certified. The company is government owned. And products that we design and manufacture for Army are compliant with NATO STANAG 3534 document. So we do deliver 3 types of solutions. Number 1, for permanent applications, for temporary runways, and for the temporary helicopter landing zones. When I say solutions, of course, I mean we deliver lighting systems. Where are our systems installed today? We have delivered over 30 systems in 11 countries. All these systems are different. Some of them are permanent, some of them are mobile, some of them are for runways, some of them are for the helipads. Now, let's speak a little bit about the solution for permanent applications. It is complete solar-powered airfield lighting that we offer for permanent applications, and our customers, they normally choose to install this system on military air bases in 2 situations. Situation number 1, At runways where there is no lighting and power grid is unavailable, this system is installed as a primary lighting system. Very often air bases, as you know, are located in remote places, far from infrastructure. So, well, there is basically no access to utility electrical supply. At the same time, S4GA system is designed to operate 365 days on solar energy only, which makes our system an optimal solution for such air bases. Situation number 2. Solar lighting is installed as a backup runway lighting for redundancy. Goal of the solar installation, in this case, for Army, is to secure risk of failure of traditional runway lighting. So in case of failure of primary AGL, airport can immediately switch over to solar lighting and continue its operations. S4GA offers complete solution that includes following elements. Lights, obviously, as you can see here on the picture. PAPI, that is powered by the solar engine. Solar engine is a combination of solar panels, battery blocks, inverters, converters, and controllers. We deliver wind direction indicator and sign or signs, and they are solar powered and also can be controlled remotely. We offer also an airfield lighting control and monitoring system, ALCMS, and if customer only wants basic control over the lights, then in this case, UR101 handheld controller, you can see it on the picture here, is used. For large-scale systems installed permanently, customers often prefer an advanced control and monitoring system. And they specifically request to monitor status of each light individually. In such cases, ALCMS software is the best solution. So here is an example on the monitor. Here's an example of such solution. 3 key features of S4GA solar lighting. S4GA lights can operate 365 days a year on solar. How is it possible? S4GA has designed unique rapid charging system. How is it unique? Solar charge rate is 5 times faster than discharge rate. So, for example, 1 hour of charging is enough to recharge light after 5 hours of operation. So basically, after entire night of operations, by the end of the day, of the sunny day, your light will be full again and ready to run for the next night. Therefore, rapid charging technology allows to keep S4GA airfield lights operational for 365 days a year, using only solar energy. S4GA system has 5 levels protection against system failure. What is that? How do we define system failure? Well, for us, it's a complete loss of runway lighting due to lack of power supply. Distributor power source, dual battery in each light, and individual light monitoring. All those features increase redundancy of S4GA system. Okay. Cybersecurity. Very important topic of radio control is, of course, cybersecurity. And I will cover it later, but I just wanted to add that radio control and monitoring system in S4GA AGL is secured by complex cybersecurity protocol. Second solution is a temporary airfield lighting trailer. So mobile airfield lighting trailers is designed in accordance with NATO standard. There are 2 general circumstances where airfield portable lighting is required. Number 1, on runway and taxiway and other maneuvering areas where lighting installations have been damaged. Number 2, on temporary airfields, reserve airfields, or minimum operating strips and other tactical facilities, where there is a requirement basically to provide a lighting aid at short notice, or when there is a infrequency of use does not justify a fixed installation. Those are 2 scenarios. So number 1, we had a lighting, it's no longer there, it's been damaged, or we have a need for occasional or infrequent light flying on the runway or airstrip where there is nothing. Then Army uses mobile airfield lighting to provide them with required illumination. So the product we offer for this kind of need is a trailer where we store from 86 to 138 lights. This can be used to equip minimum 4 kilometer runway lengths. Optionally, we can equip the trailer with mobile PAPI or APAPI, with power bank or with a diesel generator. If you activate the diesel generator, you can basically recharge all the lights in the trailer without need to connect trailer to power grid. The trailer is of course equipped with a remote activation of the lights, which is a handheld controller. Unique feature of the trailer in case of S4GA is a drop-in charging. So you can quickly put the light on the shelf, click it in, and it's being charged. There is no need to waste time to connect cables. And also another unique feature is automatic light failure reporting, which means that if in case of battery damage or light is not working, technical personnel will be automatically informed by our SMS system, so they will receive SMS on their phone about this error of the light. S4GA offers obviously military-grade trailer, and another very important information is that S4GA lighting system is compliant with every category of airfield lighting defined by NATO, from simple VFR to complex IFR operations. Below you can see some examples of trailer used in the fields. Here, it's an installation of the lights happening, mobile PAPI, lights getting out of the trailer, again, installation of the PAPI system. For helicopter landing zones. So for helicopter landing zones, we offer very simple solution. A P401 light that is available in different colors with different optics. It can be placed on a different surface, grass, ground, asphalt, doesn't matter. It can be converted to solar helipad lights if required. And of course, it is controlled remotely. Another important feature for this product is that those lights are available in NVG compatible version, which means that they will be equipped with NVG optics, so they can be visible in infrared, so NVG goggles. Okay, now, as many of you have answered in the poll, the certification and compliance is the top criteria for selecting a product. S4GA military airfield lighting. is designed in compliance with NATO and US Department of Defense requirements. And those requirements are described in 3 documents. Engineering technical letter that talks about solar lighting for airfields, unified facility criteria issued by Department of Defense, and NATO Standard 3534 that is talking about airfield lighting, marking, and tone down systems for non-permanent deployed operations. So exactly the type of operations that are serviced by our systems. For S4GA, as for European company, obviously, number 1 document is NATO Standard 3534, and it defines requirements towards mobile airfield lighting systems used by NATO. Some of you know that NATO defines 3 types of airfield lighting system. Those types are designed to provide pilots with sufficient navigate, assuming different visibility conditions. You can see that here, visual conditions. Visibility more than 7 kilometers, more than 3.7 kilometers, and more than 0.4 kilometers. Type 1 is designed for basic VFR operations, and type 3 is designed for IFR operations. I will not go now into details of these requirements, but what I can tell you is that S4GA today offers mobile systems that are fully compliant with all types defined by NATO. And S4GA actually is the only manufacturer of mobile airfield lightings that can offer you high intensity mobile lights that can be used for IFR operations in compliance with STENAC. So we can cover types 1 and 2 of operations with our low intensity light, and we can cover type 3 with our high intensity system. Here's actually a mistake. We can also cover 2B instrument approach with our low intensity airfield lighting system. Next, is mentioned before engineering technical letter that is issued by US Department of Air Force. It says basically that solar powered fixtures are approved for use in expeditionary locations. Types of lighting that are approved are runway edge, threshold, taxiway edge, distance remaining markers, and obstruction lights. As long as those lights are compliant with FAA AC 150-5345 document, where S4GA is fully compliant with this document as well. Okay. How do we design the system that is compliant? First of all, on the next, on this one and then the next slide, you will see the complex compliance metrics. And such document is prepared by S4GA R&D team as part of a product design phase. And this compliance matrix, it combines all applicable regulations together. And that is why S4GA systems always meet or exceed those requirements, because when this project is designed, it is designed towards specific requirements of Army. Here on this slide, you can see compliance matrix for NATO and US Department of Defense, UFC document, and NATO standard. If you'd like to go into details, then it shall be done after webinar or during face-to-face meeting, because it's too many details. But in general, what we do, we take a document, we take a look at the requirements, and we design the product. Here you can see actual S4GA specification that in almost all cases exceeds the requirements. Why is that? All these documents, they've been created probably 20, 30 years ago. So many of those requirements are coming from old halogen portable lights, where performance of those lights were actually lower than the performance of the fixed lights. Today, with LED technology, with S4GA rapid charging technology, with remote activation, we can actually, the performance of portable lights from S4GA exceeding those of fixed systems, and obviously they exceed required performance of the all portable lights. At the next slide, it's a continuation of the requirements. And again, I will not cover those in details because it will require too much time, but you can see we are compliant with Department of the Air Force. It's an ETL document. And we are also compliant with Federal Aviation Authority specification for portable runway and taxiway lights. When I say compliant, here you can see if we are meeting or we are exceeding. Again, in most cases the requirements are exceeded. Now, let me talk about light itself, because, well, this is what you use every day. And this piece of equipment you have to be really sure of to use it. We offer two types of light, solar version and portable. Solar is used for permanent applications and portable use as a temporary. But in fact, solar is just an upgraded version of a portable. You can see this is the same light, but this light the portable light can be converted to solar, and solar can be converted to portable, because light design is modular. Let's talk about light itself. What is important to know? First, optics. We offer highest photometric output on the market today amongst other manufacturers of portable lighting, which is 1,200 candela. This means that the light will be visible from a very long distance of at least 10 kilometers. The battery built in the light allows for light to operate 15 days on a single charge. So without any charging, on a full battery, light can operate 15 days. Okay. Built-in batteries are replaceable and are standard. We actually have in every light, we have two batteries. If one would fail, the second one will keep light running. The wireless activation is obviously encrypted and it is cyber secured. And light is also equipped with emergency on-off button. In case of a wireless activation failure, you can always activate light with on-off button. Now, solar light. There is a software, there's a actually built-in microprocessor. You can think of it as a mini CCR that is responsible for keeping all the lights running at the same electrical current. That's why if we have 100 or 200 lights, regardless of the amount, all lights will emit the same amount of light. The light is equipped with 20-watt solar panel, and also light is equipped with a rapid charging technology that allows to charge the light 5 times faster than it is discharged during operations. As I said before, the light is equipped with backup battery. So there are 2 batteries in each light. Okay. Remote control. Important topic. We all often asked by the questions in these regards. So for the basic control of the lights, we offer UR101 handheld controller. It has all what you need. Light intensity setup, you can see here's minimum, maximum, and medium. So minimum, medium, maximum, 100, 300, 10, 30, and 100% brightness. You can select a mode, infrared or NVG mode or dusk till dawn for your lights. And you can group the lights in 5 groups, which means, for example, you can program all lights to work in a group number 1, IP to work in a group number 2, and your wind direction indicator work in a group number 3. So you don't have to activate all these lights at the same time. But if you want, you have all, which will activate all lights at the same time with a selected intensity that is here. Now, few videos, you can see how it works. Here, airport personnel activate lights with a handheld controller. Here, an army man activates PAPI with a handheld controller. Takes some time because PAPI is a halogen. It's warming up. You can see they react to the command of the handheld controller. Okay. Here is, you can see handheld controller and lights stored in a trailer that has now been activated with a handheld controller. And the last example of activation, you can see how quickly all lights are activated with a control system. Okay. Now, compliance with cybersecurity protocol. Sorry, I don't know. I'm not sure if I show you everything. Yeah. Compliance with cybersecurity protocol. S4GA radio communication is obviously well protected against cyber attacks. And S4GA radio communication is encrypted and is using authentication. And what is the difference between encryption and authentication? When your signal is encrypted, you cannot decode it, but you may, or somebody else may record it and use it to control your lights. And that is exactly why we also use authentication method. So lights are able to recognize if command is sent from S4GA controller and it is not sent from some other device. So basically our lights will recognize only commands that are sent from our control units. Another question we are all frequently receive is if your lights can be activated from the pilot radio using so-called PTT, push to talk button. Now you can see the pilot who is selecting the radio frequency. Now he's pressing 3 times or 4 times in this case, and the lights are activated from the air. So on the airstrips where you have nobody, you can use this technology to activate your lights and land your airplane. The last element, it actually is a part of our 5-level protection system. In case if you lose remote activation, so radio is jammed, you can still go to light and activate the light with the on-off emergency button. And it works like that. Each light is actually, every light is equipped with this button, and if activation with handheld controller is not available, you simply push the button on the nearest light and all the rest lights will be activated automatically. Okay. Remote control we talked about, and now I will talk about automatic light failure reporting. We all know that on the airfields that are large and runway sometimes is located far away from the control tower or from any building where technical personnel is. Sometimes we have no idea what is happening with the lights. On big international airports, you have people who a few times a day, they have to go and make an inspection. In our case, it is not required because in case if any light will encounter a failure or low battery, critical low battery level, the customer, in this case technical personnel, will receive automatic warning message about the critical alarm. So people can react immediately, and they know exactly where the problem is, and they know what kind of problem happened, so they can take the spare light, for example, and go and exchange it, and it will take them 10 minutes. Now, testing of S4GA products. Testing of S4GA lighting, of course, for us for the manufacturer, is a necessary part of the manufacturing process. Why we do this testing? To make sure that our lights can withstand all operating conditions and will be working in the most extreme situations. This is why we do not only design them to be compliant, but we test them to check if they are actually compliant with the most critical requirements. Visibility. Lights visibility is the key requirement. Well, if you don't see the light enough, this light is useless for you. Here on the picture, you can see an example presenting difference between S4GA light that is used for VFR operations according to NATO and a competitive light. So our light emits 1,200 candela, and this light emits 250 candela. You can see the difference on the picture of the photometrics. Now the next slide, and now you will see the video. Here you can see our high intensity light. The picture, as you can see, is done during the day. And the light we can provide is a 10,000 candela light that is used for IFR operations. Let me just show you on the video. Probably you can see now the difference between our high intensity light on the right and the conventional high intensity light on the left. This one is connected with cables. It requires CCRs, transformers, and multiple days and many hours of installation. In our case, well, to make this video, we just bring the light out of the car, put it, and it was filmed. So this light is actually, well, for military applications, for military operations that require IFR rated lighting, is an ideal. This light is tested by Intertek in compliance with ICAO in terms of photometry and colorimetry. NVG. I'm sure that many questions are in regards to NVG, how it works. Each light, optionally, from S4GA can be equipped with NVG compatible optics. What does it mean? You can see here on this picture, like small round spots that are visible. This picture is made by infrared camera. And our light is equipped with both optics, with NVG and with visible. So customer can actually switch between those functions. NVG is visible from minimum 3 kilometer range in all types of NVG goggles. An NVG mode can be activated remotely using handheld controller. Okay. Testing of S4GA products. Following visibility, for us, the most important part is jet blast resistance. Obviously, when you install your lights on the military airfield and you fix them to the ground, you don't want any light to create a danger for the airplane. Therefore, light installed on the airfield has to withstand jet blast. S4G lights has been tested in real conditions in a wind tunnel in the Warsaw Institute of Aviation and can withstand jet blast of 240 kilometers per hour. Now you can see the short movie about it. Light has been put inside the wind tunnel on the special rotating platform, and it was rotated several times and blown over by the wind from different sides to make sure that no part will disintegrate under the influence of the wind. And it did not. And we also possess certificates that are proving this. Compliance here is according to ICAO Annex 14 and Aerodrome Design Manual, as well as FAA. Next part. In case of fixed systems, frangibility is also a very important topic. Our lights are installed on a frangible mounting that is compliant with ICAO Annex 14, Aerodrome Design Manual, and FAA. Here you can see a short movie of the frangibility test when it's a force applied to the frangible mounting until it cracks. And it has to crack under specific defined force. Of course, lights that are used outside and in different countries has to be able to work in different operating conditions. There are two key features of that: temperature, and our light can work in temperatures from -40 to +80. The second part is ingress protection. Our light has been tested and it is compliant with ingress protection level of 6-7, where 6 means that light can withstand dust, so dust cannot get inside the light, and 7 means that light can be submerged under the water for 30 minutes. You can see here the light is submerged under the water on the picture on your right corner. Okay. Electromagnetic compatibility. Very often, we have been asked whether our lights do not interfere with our other radio equipment, especially by military forces who are using multiple equipment for navigation, for communication, and control of their devices. And the answer is it does not interfere. And in order to ensure that the light has been placed, here on the picture here, you can see it's a special chamber where the light has been placed and been tested. And it's actually been tested by Polish Military Institute of Armament Technology. And it's found compliant with electromagnetic compatibility norms. So in simple words, it does not emit any electromagnetic field that could interfere with other devices, because the field is within the norms. And also our radio system that we are using is very low power. Okay. We are almost at the end of the webinar here. Okay, completed projects. Just as I said, few examples of the projects we have completed for permanent airfields. Here you can see pictures from all around the globe. We installed our lights on different surfaces in different configurations. Here is an example of our runway edge light, of our threshold end light that is bidirectional red-green. We deliver signs, we deliver wind cone that are illuminated obviously and controlled wirelessly. The installation of the light is actually very simple. Here, the guy is installing lights. This is airport in, it's airbase in North Africa, where the lights installation took on a 3-kilometer runway around 4 or 5 days, because the whole installation is about connecting the light base to the concrete surface. That's it. You don't need to make any trenches. You don't need to dig. You don't need to, well, create any infrastructure to do that. You just connect lights to the ground. That's it. Okay. Few examples also of temporary airfield lighting systems. Here you can see trailer that is connected to regular bus, regular car that can tow it, because trailer is the weight is not that big. Army men are installing lights on the airfield. Here, power bank is connected to the PAPI lights. PAPI lights are installed in the field. Runway edge light, threshold end light, portable runway lighting system. Now, you can just have a look how it looks from the air. This system has been installed within 60 minutes. And that's how it is activated instantly. First lights, then halogen PAPI, and then you will see how it is deactivated, also very quickly. Okay. All right. So a couple more slides, and we are finished. So to sum up, as you know, S4GA is a part of Polish government. Therefore, we are frequently engaged in design and manufacturing, not only lights, but our engineers are also working on different devices used by the Army, by the Air Force. We supply the devices, those devices are supplying air or electricity to the airplanes. And we know how to make product that will withstand very tough conditions. And we not only rely on our engineers to do that, but we test heavily the lights to make sure that in case of any troubles, or in case of if the light is on the desert or in Arctics, it shall work. So you can be able to rely on that. Okay, and why military choose S4GA? First, we have certified premium quality products. We are state-owned, which means that we are a reliable partner that will be there in 5 years, in 10 years, in 50 years. And today we have a reputation in the military world, and we supply actually high quality lights that withstand time. And if in case of any troubles, we also tackle those troubles quickly. That's it for the webinar. A couple more things I wanted to show you before I will answer the questions. First of all, I know that in case if some of you would like to find more information about S4GA, you go to Google, you put in S4GA. Well, then you go here. And here, if you click on the projects, you can have a look on all our projects that has been completed until today. Not all of them are here, but most let's say recognizable one are here. You can, let's say you're interested to see solar airfield lighting for North Africa. So when you click on it, you see some description, photos. You can see the products that have been used. So you can familiarize yourself with it, or you can send to your customer as an example. Another thing, if you'd like to go and see some videos, first, also important information, after this webinar finishes, and whoever was delayed or couldn't watch and couldn't participate. In a few days, we will publish this recording of this webinar on our YouTube channel. How to find it? You go to YouTube, you put S4GA here. This is our channel. You click here. And for example, let me just see video. Yeah, let's see the video. Here, for example, is our recent webinar about ICAO compliance of solar runway lights for commercial airports. And our newest video will be here in few days. So we will know you about it on LinkedIn, and you can look at it and, well, share it with whoever you want.